Hello guys and welcome to What the Tech episode number 37. My name is Adam Lobo.
And I'm Vernon. It's awesome to be back.
Yes, I was waiting for you to say good to be back, but you said awesome to be back. And yes, we have skipped once again a week of an episode, so sorry about that. It's because fatherhood came along, so yeah.
How's fatherhood treating you?
Honestly, I want to debunk the myth because a lot of people say that fatherhood or, like this lack of sleep and it's very difficult. I am enjoying every single moment of it. And there's not a single moment where I felt like it's a chore. It felt nice. And yes, like every other fathers and mothers in the world, I have experienced pooing on my white color t-shirt, experienced projectile vomiting, experienced lack of sleep. My whoop band has never became yellow. Most of the time yellow. Green is like, actually just yesterday, I think just day before yesterday was green. But that's the reason why, because, we had a lot of good moments like bathing the sun and all. And I can say that if I want to retire, Vernon, I want to be a full-time nurse for babies and a full-time dad as well.
Like a tie.
Yeah.
The tie life hashtag.
So my wife, please go find a job. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, back to tech. We have a very interesting episode this time around. We have with us, alamak, I almost took the iPhone. This particular phone, not the iPhone, but the POCO F8 Ultra. And we were supposed to give this back to POCO Malaysia as soon as Lihut came back from Bali. But I told them that, since Lihut came back yesterday, and I told them that, before we give this back, because our first impressions video is already out in case you guys haven't seen it, we want to also talk to you about the phone since it was launched and give us our thoughts. And of course, since the person who's reviewing the phone usually is me, and the reason why we have this What the Tech podcast is also for Vernon to give his thoughts as well. So we're going to go through the reactions, especially since we didn't announce the price during the first impressions video. So we're going to go through with that. As usual, we're going to go through what's good and what's not so good at this point in time. I wouldn't say that it's a full in-depth review of it as of yet, because we didn't get to use the phone daily more than the several days that we had the phone in our hands. First and foremost, Vernon, Abang, the price. The POCO F8 Ultra comes in two different variants, the black and also the denim version. The 12 gigabytes of RAM with 256 gigabytes of storage starts at 3,199 ringgit. Early bird is 2,799 ringgit.
Sold.
The 16 gigabyte of RAM with 512 gigabytes of storage starts at 3,599 for the retail price, but the early bird price is 3,199. On top of that, POCO said, I'm not only going to give you a very good price, but they're going to give a free Redmi Pad SE 8.7, which is the 6 gigabytes of RAM with 128 gigabytes of storage worth 499 ringgit.
What are you guys waiting for? Buy it. So my recommendations just based on that. Buy it.
So what is your reaction to that? Before you gave your recommendation, but what's your reaction to a phone like this, which, we knew it's a very good phone. Yeah. It's not the first ever POCO ever, but the price itself, how crazy is that?
It is crazy. POCO is also the challenger brand, and they've always challenge, and punch always above its weight.
Yeah.
And this was coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be packed with specs, the best specs, and being an Ultra, it's got to live up to the Ultra name.
Yeah.
Meaning they're going to pack it with the best of the best that they can. And
speaking of expectations, I didn't expect the price to be this low.
Yeah.
And on top of that, even the early bird promo, it's extremely affordable.
Yeah,
like from 3,199, you guys can convert it on your own, but it's really crazy that not only is 3,199, of course the sweet spot would be 3,000 ringgit, but then again, with the amount of specs and the amount of improvement, not a lot from the F7 Ultra to this, the early bird pricing was just madness. And 2,799 for a flagship phone, never in my life, and I'm sure you would agree too, and Syed behind the decks would agree too, that it's just crazy.
Honestly, they didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Because even at 3,199, it would still be the most competitive price Ultra Android out there.
On top of that, there's a free tablet. So for those of us, it's like, that's not it. I'm going to give you a free tablet. I'm like, what the hell? Anyway,
Take it and go. Is it?
we were offered to also review the tablet for the POCO tablet, but we didn't take the tablet just of yet because we have a lot of other phone reviews to do.
That would be like a rebatch of the Me, right?
Yeah, probably. But if you guys would like to see us do a review of the tablet, because our tablet reviews are just okay in terms of the views and the response. The latest Tab S11 Ultra did pretty decent. But if you guys want us to review the tablet, let us know in the comment section below, because we rather do a little more smartphone videos or even smart home, which you guys like to do as well. All right, Vernon, we are going to be going through what's good, and then you can give your reactions accordingly. First and foremost, for the very first time, POCO did a Realme by releasing two same series phones. What is your first thoughts about that within the same year?
I would say it's a surprise move because not everybody does it, and there is a reason for that. It's so that people have this, consistent upgrade cycle, a yearly thing. But I just remember that even Sony at one point did two flagships, and not two flagships, but two releases in a year of the same model. And really it was just a speed bump, just to catch up with the competition. You know how technology is. Tomorrow there'll be a new chip. And then the next day is going to be a new chip. So you're just keeping up with the upgrades as you go, as a minor refresh. But this, to be honest, doesn't look and feel like a minor refresh.
Exactly.
It looks so different from the F7 Ultra. So I'm very surprised at that. And there are thoughts about that as well from a consumer standpoint, because if I've just bought the F7 Ultra a couple of months ago, and then this F8 comes out, it looks so much better. And also at such a crazy price point, how do I feel about it? I feel as a consumer, it's like, damn, you guys are pulling a fast one on me, and then you're forcing me to upgrade again.
So I guess that would be on the bad side of things, which we'll talk about that. But one thing which you really pointed out, which is very true, is the fact that it's not a minor refresh. It's not S, like how iPhone had an S series,
and it's not a color change.
Yes, exactly.
New color.
So they have lots of additional improvements and also something which is very unique. Now, we did talk about the K series, which is available from China. We did talk about the subwoofer, which we kind of knew within the team at the back of our heads that if this was the K series or the Ultra series, they'll usually trickle down to be introduced globally as POCO. But I really, at the back of my head, I kind of knew, but at the same time, I was a little like, maybe not, but they eventually did.
I remember you said, they're not going to come out with this until maybe next year, Q1. Right?
Exactly,
But
no, that was for the Xiaomi 17 Pro. But for this, is usually they follow whatever is the K series in China, and then I bring it down here.
Very surprising though.
When there were the rumors of the POCO release in globally, I didn't think it was going to be the F series. But again, we all would expect a very minor change. Like maybe it will still look the same. So I guess
it's a spec bump, right? Or maybe a different color.
Exactly. Like you already said, like a color. But it's good that the improvements, which we're going to be talking about in a very short moment, is very high. First and foremost, this is the very first smartphone in year 2025 with a built-in subwoofer. You can physically feel the bass. It sounds really good. Now, one of the questions that we spoke about during the last podcast about several weeks ago, when I said that how would it sound if you put the speaker on the table, whether or not it vibrate weirdly, whether or not the audio is crap. But the good news is that during our first impressions, before we turn on the recording here in the podcast, we actually played. And because when you put it on the surface, there's that camera bump or plateau, which is at the back, which kind of elevates it. So the audio quality is so great. And even the stereo speakers, like when you listen, because we don't want to get any copyright strikes, so we don't want to play any music now. But when you play music in front like this, and you really turn around and just listening to audio like this, and even like this, it's the same. But one of the best things is the clarity of the bass.
Side firing, so
and the clarity of the bass, you can really listen to it. It almost sounds like a Bluetooth speaker. It is tuned by Bose. Bose has always been known for very crazy amount of bass, even for the headphones. But as of late, they decided to kind of tune it down a bit. But give me your thoughts about this collaboration. And also the idea of POCO having a subwoofer within a phone, being the very first smartphone to have that.
A couple of weeks ago, I think we talked about it, and I felt that it could be like a novelty.
Yeah.
Because nobody has done it yet.
Yeah.
But I think to prove a point is that once you've listened to it, then you would change your mind.
Yeah.
just as I did. I really thought it was just a gimmick, and why would you need a subwoofer on a phone? But once you've listened to it, listen to the dynamic range and how Bose has tuned it with POCO, then you'll be impressed. It's certainly loud enough that there's enough decibels that come out from those two speakers.
Exactly.
The subwoofer definitely makes a difference with the low frequencies. You get really bassy stuff. If you like rock, it's gonna give you that thumping sound, with the bass drums. If you like R&B, hip hop, you're gonna like the thumping bass as well. But I think overall is really quite impressive and nothing that I've ever imagined to come out from, a phone. And we've always talked about how good an iPhone sounds. I think this is even better.
Exactly. And for people like me who still listen to, like the phone speakers, I really appreciate this. Listening to podcast sounds very nice, even though there's bass. But it really reminds me of a Sonos speaker, although it's Bose, because when they introduced the subwoofer, everything does not sound like it's overpowering by the bass.
Yeah, it's not.
It just complements the lower end so that they can really push out the high end to the mid end as well. So, like I said, during our in-depth review, we'll be using our what is that word? Oh my God, that microphone with the ears.
Yeah.
Ayo, there's that. I totally forgot. I'm sure you guys know.
ASMR thing.
Yeah, so there's a proper word for it. I just can't think of it. We'll be doing that with a copyright-free music for y'all to hear, and we'll compare it side by side with the S25 Ultra, because the S25 Ultra also has a very good speaker, and because it's a little more boxier, so the space between the lower end is also quite beautiful. So we will do an audio test, like proper audio test between all of these smartphones. But if you have any suggestions, do let us know in the comment section below. One of the things that you mentioned to me earlier before we press record was you also like how it feels in the hand. So talk about that particular factor.
To be honest, it looks and feels very premium.
Yeah.
And something that you kind of don't expect from POCO.
Yeah.
I think the F7 Ultra wasn't like this.
Yeah.
This feels very iPhone level. The metallic feel of it, the looks of it. I think the design is really clean with it, although it's not hardly original, but it looks good. It does look good in the hands. I like how the edges are squared off, as with all the trend at the moment. Just overall feels like a very expensive phone. And definitely not something you expect for 3,000 ringgit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the display. So there is improvements of the peak brightness from 3,200 to 3,500.
Very crisp and bright display, I would say. Very bright. It's very bright. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it from here, but I mean, even based on the spec, it's a really bright display. You will have absolutely no issues viewing it in sunlight and direct sunlight. Very nice. It's just a good display.
Now, another huge improvements other than the display is, of course, the fact that it's using the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which is a 3nm process, mad jump, 5 LPDDR5X RAM with UFS version 4.1. And somebody commented in our YouTube video that the USB port is also improved. So thank you for pointing that out.
It's on the 2.0.
Yeah, so it's no more port 2.0 rubbish. So it is the 3.2 if I'm not mistaken, but yes, it has been improved, so you can always plug in an SSD and just transfer your photos as well. There's a Vision Boost D8 chip which improves HDR gaming and stuff. That one we'll talk about
like
it
a
more.
Display chip,
yeah, where we'll talk about more when we do our in-depth review. But the cameras was really upgraded. A triple camera, a 50 megapixel setup. Again, for a 3,000 ringgit phone, 50 megapixel main. But what really blew my mind was not the ultra wide. Yes, it has been going up from the 32 megapixel to 50 megapixel. But the 50 megapixel 5 times periscope telephoto lens, which is 115 mm. And Xiaomi, which is still the bapa of this whole entire thing, we also have seen how amazing the 15T Pro looked, right?
Yep.
And The telephoto lens, I'm sure they're using the same model. If it's not, but the image processing is going to be looking really good because based on the picture test which Lihood has taken in Bali, which thankfully the weather is way much better than here in KL, and it looks really, really good. Here's where it's really improved. Besides the chipset alone, if you just tell me you changed the chipset, I'm like, yeah, okay, but you also decided to change the cameras. I've been really complaining about the camera for the video camera for the front.
Yep.
I'm like, even when the F7 Ultra came out, I'm like, why is it still 1080p, right? Finally, like, insert the Rock meme here, like, finally, 4K video recording for the front camera, fantastic. And also 8K 30 FPS, which is the right frame rate, not 24 FPS, please. So it was increased from that. So again, I know you said this is crazy, but yeah, what are your thoughts and what is your full-on reaction on the cameras alone for a phone within this price range, Vernon?
No, I mean, I haven't really played with it. I did have a couple of minutes with it right before we hit the record button. So I was taking a few photos. I was very impressed with the detail and the sharpness of the cameras. Color science as well, kind of neutral and natural. I had to remove beautification for the portrait though. But once you do that, it's much more natural. It's almost like iPhone-like.
The color consistency was something that really stood out to me when Lihood did the test shots.
Exactly. So I was testing the different focal lengths and different lenses. It was very much consistent in terms of how the color has been represented. So that's nice.
Okay. So the battery also has been upgraded to 6,500 milliamps, which is to be expected. And because as long as they're using the silicon carbon battery, they're all sorted. Wireless charging is still at 50 watts with 22.5 reverse charging. And it should be giving about 2-day battery life as well. So what are your thoughts about the good side of the POCO F8 Ultra?
I think overall looks good, feels good. More expensive than it actually looks and feels. It's the best looking, I think, F flagship to date. Really doesn't look like a POCO, to be honest. Looks completely because the POCO is sometimes a little bit more OTT. It's a little, if you look at the F7 Ultra and even the Pro, it's a little bit different.
I always like to, I don't know about you, but I always like to look at the periscope lens. I like to see that square. So it's like, there's something about periscope lenses which really is, very appealing. So whenever I look at a periscope lens, I'm like, oh, look at that camera lens. So it looks really good.
Looking back at Oppo, right? When they started
days, right? Okay, now
also something we didn't talk about. IP68. The first time on the F-series.
The Ultra was there. So ever since the Ultra variant of the F7 Ultra was there. So they have decided to continue on from that. So that is great. Of course, the cameras is something that we also love as well.
I think ultimately the question is, would you buy one? Would we buy one? Would you buy one? For the price, the specs, the features, build quality. And
I would highly recommend it. And I would tell people to buy it over a flagship phone. Technically it's a flagship phone. Would I buy it for myself? Obviously not, because I'm already using a flagship phone, which is an iPhone.
Assuming that you didn't have an iPhone, you didn't have any other flagship phone. I mean, it's very hypothetical, but
I still like Samsung software.
Okay.
So I will still go with the S series from Samsung. Again, not because I do not like the phone. I love the phone, but I wouldn't go out and buy it. But do I recommend it? Absolutely. How about you, Emang?
Yeah, same. Totally, hands down. Looking at the specs and the price and what's being offered at the moment, I think definitely.
All right.
Hands down.
Fantastic. Okay, let's go through the not so good. To be honest, when I was trying to this really sounds like nitpicking. So is this for the sake of having a discussion here between you and I? We did talk about earlier, you just briefly mentioned about knowing the fact that if you do know somebody, a friend, who just bought the F7 Ultra, what would you say to him? You just give him a big warm hug and that's all about it.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm so sad for you. But do upgrade because you get a free what do you get? You get a free red meat pad with it. And
probably you can just sell the F7 Ultra.
But then the question would be, would they drop the price of the F7 Ultra?
But even if they drop the price, who's going to buy the F7 Ultra now?
I don't know. I mean, in the end, it's also about price point. What if they sell it for $2,000?
I think iPhone does the best when it comes to really pricing their phones nicely. Like at this point in time, even the F7 Ultra goes down, you take a look at, -1 software update, and all of the other things, you still be like, I don't want to look at the F7 Ultra. Right now, if someone just bought the F7 Ultra like yesterday or the day before the launch, I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry to hear that. See, like for example, like my younger brother bought the Apple Watch Ultra 2 4 days before Ultra 3 came out. I did tell him, but he wanted it because he was traveling. But then again, the difference is not so much.
Yeah, it's not a big difference.
So for that kind of situation,
this is a little bit different.
Yes, this is so
such a major change.
So I think like the people who bought the F7 Ultra just recently, they would feel the pain. Or even earlier this year, they'll be like, oh my God, why? I still
but
cannot
what
get
if you're not like an audio enthusiast and you don't care about the Bose built-in subwoofer?
The cameras though, the chipset, POCO's very well known for gaming, right? It's a gaming phone per se, and I think that improvement alone for the cameras and also the overall chipset, thermal, we do not know.
They didn't talk about thermal as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no mention about whether there's a vapor chamber or...
I wish I was there at Bali because I would definitely ask this question, but I am a bit trying to understand why that is no more WQHD Plus anymore, because the F7 Ultra had that. Yes, it comes with a bigger and brighter screen, but slightly lower resolution. Is it because they want to increase the size of it, so the resolution goes down? Or is
the
also,
density, the PPI goes down, although the size goes up. Yeah.
So is that the case for every smartphone, or is because they had to balance off the price as well, right?
Yeah, I think it's a price factor rather than technology.
And this is something where not everybody would notice. It seemed like how for the longest time the refresh rate on the iPhones, the baseline model was...
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, if you look at that, you wouldn't be able to tell unless you have, let's say, the F7 Ultra really pixel peep. Yeah. I don't think you can tell.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, only on paper.
The wired charging has also gotten slower. Again, we do not know why. Is it because the increase of size has actually...
This is baffling to me, but... Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, it's just 20 watts difference, but still
we can
there's a
ask
difference.
POCO about this.
Like last year, earlier this year when I went for the launch for the F7 Ultra, I was in Singapore instead of Bali. I asked all the questions. I was the only one who was asking all the questions because I am born to ask questions. So I wish I was there to ask questions, but I will ask question later on because I've been busy with family stuff. But I will be asking why. What is the justification?
Is it because of the port? Is it because of silicon carbon?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. But was the F7 Ultra a non-silicon carbon? Syed, do you remember? Was that a lithium ion?
I think it was lithium ion.
Probably that could be the reason. Because a lithium ion can take like very high charging speeds, but a silicon carbon, because it's so thin, that could be the reason. We will double check and see whether or not. Probably it is lithium ion. So if it's lithium ion, then it's understandable.
I think it's a compromise I'm willing to take.
Because bigger size battery means that you...
Honestly, 100 watts is already so bloody quick.
Even
if it was 50 watts, I'd be happy.
Exactly. It is slightly heavier. Now, this is very subjective. For me, I'm fine.
What was the previous one?
Can't remember, but...
200 grams still lighter than iPhone.
218 grams for the black. Now, apparently the blue is about 2 grams heavier, which is the denim blue. I didn't get to touch it. Liud, of course, got his hands on it. Speaking of which, is this like the iPhone whereby like there is like the antennas around it? No, right?
I don't think it's very heavy compared to our iPhones.
Exactly. So like I said, this sounds like it's nitpicking anyway. So that's true. Holy mother of God. Yeah, that's true.
What a big difference.
So subwoofer. Some may think that is a gimmick. Audio lovers like Vernon and I, we really love it. And even when we were talking about it, it did sound like a novelty. Because no one has done it, right?
Yeah.
Everything sounds like a novelty until someone does it. And then when he goes out in the market, like the iPhone Pocket, which we'll talk about soon. Minimalist meeting, it's a bit unnecessary, but it's a point worth debating. I guess it's for people like me. I listen to speakers a lot because when I listen to podcasts or just watch YouTube videos, I will put the speakers on because most of the time I'm alone, forever alone. But what are your thoughts about that? Like, do you think that there will be a market which will hate the subwoofer?
I don't think people hate it.
Okay.
I think it's more like a necessity thing, whether you need it or not. For people like you who listen out loud, I don't listen out loud mostly.
Okay.
It's usually through my earbuds.
Yep.
But for people who do that, I think they would definitely get a better quality sounding device and also content.
Yeah.
That is a benefit, I feel. A novelty, if you're not really the audio kind of person, maybe the novelty is there's a Bose collaboration. The design's a little bit more unique.
Yeah.
So you're using a more unique phone. But then that novelty kind of wears off.
I mean, it's. I think nobody would hate it, honestly,
Yeah,
because it
nobody
doesn't.
hate it.
The only way it would impact somebody would be the weight. Now, that's the reason. Other than that, it has blended very nicely. It's not like the speaker is like coming out like a weird antenna like that. It's like, yo, what's up? Right? It has blended so nicely. So for me, I just feel like this is a plus point rather than a compromise that I don't think anybody would hate it, right? So, like for example, just say if you press the button and then the speaker comes out or something like that, like how last time you had that pop up, right? Then maybe it can be a bit of a hindrance, right? But right
F8
now,
Ultra Pro Max.
But right now it has blended so nicely. From far, it may look like a camera module, right? You won't even know. Hey, what is this? Oh, is that a button? But yeah, speaking of which, we cannot press. I just wanted to.
Don't press, please.
Okay, that is our early impressions. Everything is good, but of course, stay tuned for our in-depth review where we'll be talking about the battery impact, the thermal behavior, which is something which we really need to test daily, gaming stability, and of course, how well it does, battery drain and stuff like that. So stay tuned for our in-depth review of the POCO F8 Ultra. We're going to give this back to POCO Malaysia. So they're going to give it back to us. Only then we can kind of review it. So while you are waiting for our in-depth review, if you haven't seen our first impressions video, do check it out on YouTube. But if you have anything that you want us to test, do let us know in the comment section below. Okay, Abang, we have 2 tech news. Number 1, to everyone's shocking belief or disbelief, the iPhone Pocket has been sold out.
Wow. As you know, the iPhone Pocket was announced and available November 14th. And then, as of November 25th, this little fabric 3D knitted thing has sold out in the US, Japan, France, China, Italy, Singapore, South Korea, and the UK. Can you believe it?
Wow.
That's just, 11 days from announcement and availability that is sold out?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many they sold, but what's available.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's living up to the hype, and it's lived up to the hype. We were very skeptical, but I guess, you know what? Branding sells.
Yeah.
And the price of fashion really has no ceiling. I mean, this thing, 2 versions. One is the short one, which is 700 ringgit, and $1,000 for the long version, that piece of cloth. So, wow. And what does it show? We know nothing. We know nothing about fashion. We know nothing about how people think, and we know that people are rich.
I agree with the latter part that people are rich. A lot of people are just hiding their money.
But of course, if you can afford an
that,
iPhone, you can afford an iPhone Pocket, right? Well, technically.
Yeah, but I didn't expect it to be sold out. I expect it to still be one of those things where it's going to be there, right? It's like when people go, hey, what's this? It's cool.
Do you think they're going to continue selling it? Restock it? As a limited edition?
I don't think so, because you go on Shopee now.
Because exactly what I'm going to say. Because if you do that, then you're going to see a lot of these on Shopee and
It's already on Shopee. So there is starting from 72 ringgit. There's a 32 ringgit. Right? Yeah, there's a fake one. So
this is Aise Miyaki.
Aise!
I bought the fake one.
I think this is something whereby
again, it's fashion, so it's never logical. When
Adam hasn't looked this defeated in a while.
No, because I'm trying to
so
understand
struggling.
because
it sucks
it
to be
is a very
wrong,
good point.
but
No, it's
okay.
not about being wrong. It's more like I'm still in disbelief.
Baffled.
Yeah, and I'm trying to understand what they're going to do moving forward. Like what you said, are they going to renew this? Because it's so easy to create. Like we already have fake versions on Shopee and Lazada and whatever. But something that, because okay, let's talk about the. But everybody has an iPhone, so I'm trying to understand. That's why my face is like this. So like the iPhone, I mean the Mac wheels, remember?
Yeah.
But that is for
But
people
that's-
who has the Mac Pro.
But that
so
is a
understand.
necessity,
Yes,
right? So you kind of need that if you want to move
it around.
Mac tower around, right?
Yeah, but that one didn't sold out. You get what I mean? Neither did the Pro XDR
But that's
display.
like $20,000. Oh wait, it was 9,000.
Yeah, but I guess the level of the amount of people who has an iPhone is so much bigger. It's the number one selling phone in the world.
It is now,
and especially
yeah.
now with 17, which is your prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand how did it sold out, and at the same time, yeah, your question is very legit. Like, are they gonna restock it? Yeah. Because it's not, if it's just said it's an Apple thing only, then maybe they will restock. But remember, they have that EC Miyake.
But if they're serious about this exclusivity thing, then it could be a limited edition, and they're just gonna stop it. They're gonna
Why
replace
wasn't
it.
the Hermes case sold out?
Because it wasn't a limited edition, to be honest. It wasn't, right? It wasn't marketed as a limited edition.
Oh.
It is a unique
Yeah,
collaboration.
it's a unique and
yes.
it's also very...
But maybe the lesson here is that Apple would probably collaborate more with other fashion brands, and it's not going to be a surprise.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't hate it. I think it's a very interesting idea. No one came up with such idea, but I'm just baffled by the fact that it's sold out.
in 11 days.
Yeah. Wow, 11 days. Was that
Yeah, man.
exact? Wow.
Isn't it amazing?
One of the fellas was Jason. He bought it and is now moving around. But then again, now, have you seen anybody in the wild
No.
having it? Say no.
So nobody's won the
only
100
one is
ringgit-
Jason. Jason is our
100
friend.
ringgit bet.
So yeah, so we
No,
have the
maybe
Makan.
because we're in the wrong country. If we were in Singapore, we'll get it. But
Yeah, but
because
then the point is
Malaysia-
that would somebody go to Singapore and buy it? Like somebody we don't know. Let's not talk about Jason.
let's
but-
check out Carousel. It's probably somebody selling it for 1,500 ringgit.
Oh God, yeah, correct.
Yeah, I think scalpers are.
I think that there will
yeah.
be scalpers, and this opens
also-
this opportunity to scalpers to do it.
Yeah, for the original version. But
Yeah.
then again, I would like to see. I don't buy fake products, but I want to
Yeah.
see how the fake ones look because it looks like a product which is easily to
Yeah, it does look.
copy, right?
Yeah.
Like especially the materials and stuff
And
like that.
it's likely made in China anyway. So
Yeah. Speaking of China, the next tech news is that Huawei Mate X7 has been officially released in China. What's interesting is that it comes with a combination of IP59 and IP58 and IP59, which means, in case
do
you all
they
did
do
not
that?
know, because sometimes I always forget about the IP
Front and
levels,
the back.
but protection from high pressure and high temperature water jets.
So is that purely for the hinge or
The whole
is it-
phone, apparently.
But how do they combine 58 and 59?
It's a two separate IP rating based on the high pressure and also the temperature. So yeah, but then why is this durable even needed? This durability even needed? We need stronger hinge, which Huawei has been doing a very good job anyway. It's also apparently going to be slimmer and lighter and more compact. 9.5 mm folded, 4.5 mm unfolded. It is
Hey, wait a
extremely
minute.
thin.
It's not thinner than the Z Fold 7.
Yeah, I'm
it's
checking.
9.5, right?
Yeah, so just I put a Z Fold 7 question mark. I didn't fill it up. So what is the? Do you know what's the exact thinness? Because I cannot remember that. How thin is the Z Fold 7? Maybe Syed, you can just check it out first. It's 235 grams, which is lighter than a lot of
Z
slab
Fold
phones.
7 is 8.7, I believe. Something.
I also remember it's like kind of
Yeah,
8, right?
8.7.
But yeah, it's not the thinnest foldable
But
in the
it does say it's like
world.
the thinnest IP59 rated phone.
Okay. Just for the sake of being the...
just being first. It's marketing. It's marketing.
Exactly. The dual displays is a 6.49 inch outer display and an 8 inner inch LTPO OLED display. Huawei is already coming up with very good screens.
Made by Samsung, I
There
guess.
is the Kirin 9030 Pro chipset, which we still do not know the exact NM process. We'll talk about that in a short moment.
12.
50. A silicon carbon battery, which is a huge win. Probably this is the biggest one out now, which is 5,600 milliamps of battery, 66 watts of wired and 50 watts of wireless charging. And of course, it is one of the biggest battery compared to any other competitors. Camera systems, all of their foldables has never had any such of a compromise. 50 megapixel main with a variable aperture, f1.4, f4.0, something that Samsung did way back in the S9 and then decided to stop. But Huawei said we're going to continue on with that, which is great. 50 megapixel periscope telephoto lens with up to 3.5 times optical zoom, very similar to the Vivo X300 Pro series.
Yep.
A 40 megapixel ultra wide and a proper complete camera setup. The pricing is looking to be about 7,950 ringgit, which is, of course, it's more affordable, but there's after you convert that as well. Did you get the tin value? What is the amount?
It's 4.5 millimeter thick when unfolded and 9.5 millimeter thick when folded.
That sounds exactly like the specs.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is the Z Fold 7.
Oh,
9.5.
Z Fold 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm saying Z Fold 7, not the Huawei. The Huawei I made here already.
Sorry
Yeah?
about that.
No worries. Get back to us on that. Let's talk about the not so good things. China only for now, but usually like the X6 was released here in Malaysia. The Kirin 9030, definitely a limitation because we still do not know the NM value.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's not going to be as good as a flagship Snapdragon or even a Dimensity. I feel
Yeah.
it's always lagging behind.
Yeah.
It's always meant for more mid-tier phones.
Yeah.
The Kirin.
And there's no mention of Google App Support. That one is something that, globally they don't really care.
That's to be expected. And
Yeah.
I think that's also the reason why it's only China. Because in China, you don't have Google anyway, so the consumers are not affected by a non-Google device.
Yep.
But for us here and also all our other worlds, I mean, without GMS, I think it really is a compromise in the experience. I mean, Gbox helps in a way, but again, it's still a workaround and it's not 100%. So
Still has been pretty okay on the Pura, but it's still
I feel
little.
I still feel that for me, at least, it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But, it's just like having a super slim phone and a small battery and one single camera.
Yep.
It's a compromise experience out of the box.
Exactly.
Although this one you kind of can work around it with a single camera, you can't.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a hard sell for me. It's always a hard sell for me with Huawei devices or Honor devices.
Yeah. The optical zoom range is not a big deal, but it's worth mentioning is that it's still 3.5 times zoom, which Vivo is doing a very good job, but compared to Samsung and Xiaomi, which has the 5 times option. Durability, earlier we mentioned IP59 is an amazing step forward, but what it does not fully eliminate is long-term concerns like hinge wear, very important. The inner screen creasing happens in even Samsung phones, and of course dust intrusion within currently the worst foldable in the world is actually the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, because that one just went up to flames. But I still feel like it's a heavy investment. 7,950 ringgit is still almost 8K, a very niche audience.
Not sure if it's coming here
exact
though.
numbers, Syed? What's the number?
Okay, the Z Fold 7 is 8.9 millimeters
8.9.
thick when
8.9?
folded. 8.9 millimeters
There you go.
folded and 4.2 millimeters thick when unfolded.
Yeah, it's still the winner. So
Still the winner. Still very good.
yeah, it's still the winner. The Huawei Mate X7, even the Mate X6, when we reviewed here, we liked it. We really, really liked it. But eventually, we're like, okay, thank you. Here's a review. Thank you. And move on.
If it was available here and also globally, would you recommend it?
The main X7?
The X7.
I would recommend a Z
against-
Fold 7.
Against the other foldables.
I would recommend a Z Fold 7. Again, because of software and the optimization for the software has always been really good, right?
The Z Fold 7 is amazing.
Now, the reason why we covered this is because at least Huawei is always trying to move forward without coming up with any excuses like Arne Slot when it comes to losing stuff. So it's good that
I like that segue into football.
it's good that even though the US is controlling their chipset and stuff like that, they're still pushing through, trying to come up with killing chipset. And I really adore Huawei as a company because they're not only doing smartphones, they're doing great technological stuff. They have great tablets, they have great laptops. So again, I tip my hat off to Huawei for really doing this as well, which is great. So now,
Okay, I'm laughing already.
yeah, let's go into the who asked for this.
Oh no.
Bernard, your segment, so you call it.
Okay, so who asked for this? This segment is interesting because I picked it up on, I think, on YouTube, or I think it was on IG actually. So following the Yola and Razer collaboration for the pickable pedal, this collaboration I think nobody saw coming. Xbox and Crocs have teamed up to make a controller-inspired pair of clogs. I mean,
Crocs.
Clogs. The clogs, the Croc clogs.
Clock, 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 clock.
Is actually is an actual Croc shoe that's shaped and styled like an Xbox controller. So there's buttons, there's joysticks, there's player left and right, labeling. Obviously, it doesn't work like a controller because that would be an awesome tech product, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a collaboration I don't think anybody wanted. It has Xbox buttons, it has the fake joysticks.
Yeah.
And it's marketed as this thing that you want to wear when you're not doing anything or not on the move. Maybe you want to wear them when you're gaming. I don't know. But Xbox says it's for couch co-op and kicking back. But the question is, why would you wear shoes when you're not moving? Hey,
Yeah.
what's happening? But then, okay, so the question is, really, who is this for?
Yeah.
Who asked for this? Would you think it's hardcore Xbox fans? Would it be collectors? Would it be people who want to cosplay at home?
Remember
As
how
a console? I mean, or it's just a guy who loves Crocs and who wears it everywhere.
So, do you know anybody who loves Crocs or even like really swear on Crocs? Because I remember when Crocs was first introduced, I had one event management guy. His name was Adam McKenzie. Very, very nice guy. I know him for the longest time. And every single time when he come to events, he will always wear a Croc. Yeah. So, do you know anybody like that?
No, not at the moment, but I've never been a fan of Crocs because I feel they're a fashion disaster.
And some people say it's comfortable. I don't find it comfortable at all.
I think they look comfortable.
Look comfortable. For me, they don't even look comfortable.
They look comfortable, but they're just so out of place. I've seen people in suits wearing Crocs. I've seen people in sports attire wearing Crocs. I've seen women dressed really nicely and wearing Crocs in public.
Yeah.
In the mall. I'm like, seriously? I know they're comfortable, but... And you know how Crocs came to be, right? There was these clogs and slippers for a garden.
Oh.
For gardening.
I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, for gardening.
Okay.
So that's where original came from.
I don't know whether it's Samsung or iPhone. Remember, Samsung or iPhone came up with a Croc case, right? Yeah.
A Croc case.
Yeah, a Croc smartphone case. Oh, y'all didn't know. I thought y'all knew. Yeah, so it's either iPhone or Samsung. I have a feeling it's a Samsung.
Stop.
Yeah.
So anyway, availability, they're going to be available tomorrow apparently on the Crocs website. Please don't come to Malaysia. It's a limited edition, so they will be sold out like the iPhone Pocket and will magically appear on Carousel soon by scalpers.
Yes, exactly.
Would you buy one?
Absolutely not. I've never been a fan of Crocs, but it's a very interesting collaboration. We have to give credit to them. It's so
I
weird.
feel that some brands shouldn't collaborate. And I think Xbox shouldn't
and Crocs.
collaborate with Crocs.
Yeah.
Why not a brand more fashionable? I don't know. Do Issey Miyake.
And
or something.
somehow Xbox is Microsoft, bro.
I know. It's a premium kind of product.
Again, that's what we'll say. And then the next news next week will be like Crocs and Xbox sold out, and then we go like. This reminds
And
me
I'll
of.
do this.
Yeah.
And this would be our thumbnail.
It's just like what Eddie Murphy's punchline was.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know.
Speaking of Eddie Murphy, so check out Netflix. Being Eddie is so good. I'm a huge Eddie Murphy fan, and in case you guys want to watch it, it's so bloody good.
He's good
Yeah.
at stand up. He's
Yeah.
really good.
Okay, going into the community segment, we have
Sorry,
two
guys.
questions because we obviously missed last week. So the first one is that Said asked, smartphone brands are launching more pro accessories than ever, from camera kits to magnetic battery packs. Which one would you actually go for when it comes to using it every day? Tell us below and let us know. The highest one is a magnetic power bank.
Interesting.
Number 2 would be lens extension / filters. That's interesting. Number 3 would be the camera grip and the shutter button per se. And number 7, or the last one, the 7% is something else. We will take a look at the comments soon. 136 votes, decent. But yeah, before we go into the comments, Vernon, what are your thoughts about this? Which one would you choose first?
I chose magnetic power bank because based on the list, I think that's the most practical.
Okay. Second?
Something to use on a daily basis. Second, I don't really care for lens extensions and camera grips because that's very specific for like photography, and it's not something I would bring with me every day. So not necessarily that. If something else, I cannot really think of anything else that's a pro accessory. I feel maybe if as a pro accessory, maybe external storage, like something
that's a very good point.
something that you can attach to your iPhone, like especially now where you can
There is actually
you can shoot
those
log and
magnetic
stuff,
ones.
right?
Yeah.
That would make more sense to me.
Yeah.
But I think magnetic power bank would be the most practical.
How about the wallets then? Since you are one of the people who use the
Wallet is good because of MagSafe. Thank you.
For me, anything magnetic is fine. We just need to figure out what kind of magnetic accessory makes sense. Like
What about
I
a
tried
Crocs
to do,
holder?
No way. For me, magnetic power bank is something where, believe it or not, I never used. I can count like maybe with one hand, like how many times I used it. Because it's still slow, I never find a need. I just like, because even the magnetic power banks, the ones where I use, I just don't like how it protrudes the cable out like that. It's the same reason why I don't like using the SSD externally, because it looks like it's going to come out any point in time. So I prefer something which is a bit more rigid. And if it's a magnetic power bank, I would like to have it as a wireless one. Then at least the cable does not come through.
There's no cable.
I would like to have, because I'm an audio guy, I would like to have an additional, like a microphone module to record audio, which actually kind of covers and goes on a magnetic power
like
bank.
those wireless mics, like a DJI, where you
just
plug it
put
through your USB.
Yeah. So, but then again, that is what I had in mind. But to me, I think it's...
What did the audience say?
Yeah, we're going to check out their comments right away. And then there are, as of now, when we look at the comments, there is a total of 7 comments. Wow, a lot. Very nice. I love this. I prefer the extra lens instead of a magnetic power bank. Since I am in a tropical country, it is warm here, and I know that using a magnetic power bank also generates heat to the phone that we all know is not good for our health of our phones. Besides, I choose camera kits accessory for my hobby. Nice. So this is a very...
What if you run out of battery while you're trying to shoot?
That's a very good point. But I understand where he comes from. I guess this is more... Amy is more of the kind of person, like, he kind of reminds me of Uma, because Uma used a lot of this kind of accessories or attachments
well,
for the... Yeah. For me, I never use them, and I unless it's given to me for free, I'll use it. But it's going to be one of those cases whereby I'm going to use it once and I'm not going to use it anymore. Check out this fella. AB_tempo. USB Type-C cigarette lighter. It's smart, but maybe because we don't smoke. So, but it's...
Why would you? Okay. Never
Yeah,
mind.
it's but how can you...
I'm officially a non-smoker. So
Yeah, so...
I cannot comment.
But credit when it's due, at least he came out with something
It's
interesting.
something different.
Yeah. Faridan Hana channel 1668. I asked nothing much. Just put the charger brick at the back in a box is enough. It's literally basic accessories. Okay. This one is a whole topic by itself. Tech Tally 14. Imagine being able to charge your phone while not sitting on the floor so the charger can reach. Huh?
I don't get it.
Okay, wait. Imagine being able to charge your phone while not sitting on the floor.
Is he referring to, let's say, a cable? So it'll be like a wireless charger, I think.
Could be. I think what he meant. Okay, I could be wrong. Maybe what
Could
he
be
meant
a
is that
microwave
it is
charger.
charging while you're using the phone.
Without being plugged in.
That's not.
Technically, I mean, if you have, let's say, a magnetic power bank, there are no wires, right? You can charge. So he doesn't have to have a cable.
Okay, how about like for example, like there's there's a radius area whereby like if you are within this 1 feet by 1 feet radius, you can charge anything.
It's like a microwave charger.
Yeah, it's like no, it's
actually-
radioactive cow.
I know, but it's available technology.
Yeah, it's
just that
already
not-
it's just that not available for us
Consumers,
people. But yeah, that's a good point. I think that's what you meant, lah. Okay, Nash Days is funny how Android phone still doesn't have a proper MagSafe. I want a clip-on power bank on the back of the phone. Yeah, very good point.
Get a Pixel
Yeah, but I don't think
or a
you will
magnetic
enjoy one.
case.
Will Rivera, none, smiley face. Thank you for commenting anyway. Appreciate it. Lee Hood says wireless MagSafe iPhone monitoring for shooting. Life changing. Yeah, that's true.
What is that?
So there is this wireless MagSafe monitor for the iPhone. Yeah. Which I used it when I was in Apple.
MagSafe monitor.
Yeah, so I used it when I was in Apple Park. So when I shoot at the rear camera.
So there's another screen on the back.
Yeah, so there's another screen. So you kind of put it
Useful.
in the back.
Useful
We
for
have it
content
here in the
creators.
studio. We have it here in the studio.
Useful for content creators,
But
for sure.
eventually, it is good for only content creators. But eventually, people like me, I used it like once, twice, and then I decided not to because you need to charge the filler.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless
and it draws power from the phone, right?
No, you charge it separately.
It only
I
attaches
would-
magnetically
Yes.
and doesn't charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it
Got it.
charged magnetically, that would be awesome. Then again, I don't have to worry about the charging the device. So even though there's no cable per se, but yes, I totally agree with what Lee Hood has mentioned. As for the second question, is that do you use AI? Which AI chat box do you use on a regular basis? Let us know below and tell us why you use it in the comments. The highest one would be ChatGPT. OpenAI is still very famous worldwide. Gemini is number 2, which is nice to know. Others, which we look down below, is 7% and Perplexity is 5%. Abang Vernon, which one is your number 1?
Interesting. Definitely Gemini.
Gemini is number 1, huh? Nice.
Gemini is number 1 at this point. I used to use Claude, Perplexity for deep research, but I can tell you Gemini is just going so far ahead, definitely ahead of ChatGPT at this point. So if you're not on Gemini, I think it's time to go Gemini. Also because it's Google. And if you are already subscribing to Google Workspace, you have Pro Gemini, so please use it.
Yeah.
A lot of very powerful tools. Notebook LM is absolutely very useful. It's incredible as a tool. What else? Nano Banana, which is across Gemini, is fantastic. It's so advanced right now. There really isn't, a reason that I would not recommend Gemini.
Yes, of course.
And Gemini is everywhere. Is on your phone, on your browser, it's in Google Docs,
Yeah.
Gmail, whatever. So make use of it.
Yeah.
Perplexity is a little bit behind, but it's good for deep research. So, but even Gemini now is very good at deep research. So use that. ChatGPT is still quite popular. I agree, based on data.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a catch-up game right now for other LLMs against Gemini. So, and that's my choice.
Okay. My choice is that I'm very well aware that Gemini is very powerful. I'm very well aware that Banana is really amazing, producing a lot of great videos, coming up with prompts and stuff. But if I had to track back to just look at the past 3 months, I've never touched Gemini. I still use ChatGPT, and I find it a little more reliable for my use case. More on scripting and more on trying to restructure certain things, and also asking questions in general. I tried touching Perplexity. I didn't like it because sometimes it's a bit outdated. I know deep research is great, but majority of the time I'm not using it for deep research because the type of content or the type of things that I do is based on a review which I am using the device.
Yeah.
So that's why for me, I still use ChatGPT. ChatGPT's biggest and greatest things were always the memory function, but right now Gemini has that as well.
Yeah.
If I was an investing in money, I would put my money or put my stocks in Gemini. It is the best out right now.
Yeah.
But personally for me, I use ChatGPT as number one. I haven't touched Gemini for the past several months. Yeah.
What I would recommend, because Gemini has this thing called Gemini Gems, where you can build an agent. So build an agent for content creation.
Okay.
Build an agent for deep research. And you feed it data,
Yeah.
and then it will build around it. It will know more about you than you know about you.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. I built some agents.
Yes, I agree. The AI agents is actually very good. I never got into that, but thank you for...
Yeah, it's amazing. Just play with Gemini Gems. I think you'll find it very useful.
Cool. Now, looking at the comments, Abang Vedan says Gemini mostly and occasionally Claude. Nice. Then we have Let's Play Bliss, Grok, hands down.
Grok.
I see you're a huge Elon Musk fan then. Then ChatGPT, then Copilot. Ooh, Copilot.
Copilot is technically
fancy.
ChatGPT. But yeah, okay.
Fancy. Then Gemini and then Alexa.
Alexa.
Technically,
Amazon has been very quiet in the AI space.
that's true. I mean, technically, it's
that?
still an AI voice, but
Why is that though? Why are they so quiet?
Yeah, good point.
They're working on something in the background. I don't know.
No. Aiden Cross says Copilot
very
at work.
unusual.
Okay, so that means you're a Windows user. Ayman Rashid says for work and data analysis. I think he didn't state his answer. He probably voted over there, but no problem.
Yeah.
Dasar Hijau, very nice name. DeepSeek, my absolute favorite
DeepSeek,
daily partner. Yeah, DeepSeek is good.
Open source and
it's free.
It's free.
Nash J says I use Gemini mainly because it's easier to access for me, and then I use ChatGPT a lot. So yeah. For me, again, like I said, it's more of ChatGPT. I need, and I know that, other than your advice, I know I need to use Gemini more because I do have Gemini advanced subscription and stuff.
because you have workspace, right?
Yes, but to me, like when I'm replying emails and stuff, I can see they're already asking summarize, which is very helpful. But that's not something which I'm actively doing because it's working behind the scenes. So I'm probably using Gemini without even realizing it, but actively I'm actually using ChatGPT as well. So yes, those are the questions for the community segment. As usual, Syed will be asking these questions every Tuesday. So be sure to hit to our channel during this time and of course to participate, and we'll mention your names and of course to get your feedback, because ultimately this whole podcast is not only to discuss about the news, but also is to talk about your opinions and your thoughts as well. And with that, we like to go through the video releases recap. Like I mentioned earlier this week or middle of this week on Wednesday, we released the POCO F8 Ultra first impressions video. We have a very interesting smartphone comparison. I'm going to give it a little of a suspense and a little bit of a surprise, but it's two flagships fighting with each other, since you guys love our comparison videos. So I'm sure you're going to like this because the results are going to be very interesting. I will try my very best, because I am personally editing it right after this as well, to release it this Sunday. So hopefully it will be out. But yeah, be sure to check it out. And if you guys drop to this particular podcast without subscribing to us, feel free to subscribe to the channel, because we have What the Tech happening every Saturday night as well. With that, we'd like to say thank you so much for watching What the Tech episode number 37. My name is Adam Lobo.
My name is Vernon. See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.